presidential election has had its fair share of twists and turns, and one of those happened last week when independent presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. announced he's staying in the race but will try to take his name off the ballot in swing states to help former President Trump. As national correspondent Atra El-Nashar explains, it turns out this is easier said than done.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
When Robert F. Kennedy Jr. took the stage in Arizona last week, many thought he'd say his bid for the White House was over.
I want everyone to know that I am not terminating my campaign.
Instead, he says he's suspending it, which doesn't change his legal status as a candidate and means he can still fundraise. His donation page is still live.
I encourage you to vote for me.
Kennedy argues he could still end up in the White House if Vice President Harris and former President Trump tie with 269 electoral votes each. And under the 12th Amendment, the House of Representatives would choose the president and the Senate would choose the vice president. A long shot, to say the least.
At the same time, Kennedy is endorsing Trump, and so he's trying to take his name off the ballot in 10 states, 7 of which are battlegrounds to prevent taking votes away from Trump. But so far, state laws and protocols in North Carolina, Michigan, and Wisconsin are getting in the way.
Right now, he's just coming up to the reality that each state carries out its own elections. They have deadlines associated of when you can get on the ballot, how to get on the ballot, and then even if you ever want to get off of the ballot.
In North Carolina, ballots go out next week. Kennedy's own We the People party, as of Wednesday morning, hadn't informed officials that they're changing their candidate. In Michigan, it's too late for Kennedy to withdraw because he's been certified as the Natural Law Party's nominee. And next door in Wisconsin, the law states any person who files nomination papers and qualifies to appear on the ballot may not decline nomination. Kennedy polls in the low single digits, which may not seem like much until you consider how close the margins have been in some of these states in recent elections. In 2020, Wisconsin went to Joe Biden by only about 20,000 votes. And in 2016, Donald Trump won Michigan by fewer than 11,000 votes.
Just because he's polling in the low single digits, that's more than enough to upset one state, and one state's enough to upset the whole election.
In Washington, I'm Atra El-Nashar reporting.